Good evening. A prominent anti-fracking campaigner has revealed that he was detained at an airport under the Terrorism Act. Ian Crane was questioned for 2 hours at Exeter Airport just before Christmas. Documents reveal that his mobile phone was examined for approximately 1 hour, and he was told that he could have a friend informed of his detention at public expense, or rather, a fried informed at public expense. So what is Schedule 7 of the Terrorism Act? Well, it allows police, immigration and customs officers to detain and question people at ports or airports. On request, the person questioned must provide any information or documents, but there is no requirement for an officer to have a reasonable suspicion that someone is involved with terrorism before they are searched. People who fail to cooperate are deemed to have committed a criminal offence. Well, for more on this, I'm now joined by the man himself, Ian Crane, who presents the weekly web broadcast Fracking Nightmare. Ian, good evening. Thanks for joining us. So, are you a terrorist?
Well, I think I'm probably a long, long way removed from being a terrorist, but there's little doubt that David Cameron, despite his claims to never giving up on free speech, I think his interpretation of that is free speech is that as long as it's in line with his views and his philosophy. So I and many other anti-fracking campaigners are certainly regarded as domestic extremists, which is an absurdity.
So you think that is the reason why you're detained. So what exactly then did the security services say to you?
Well, I don't think they knew why they had stopped me. I got the distinct impression that they had been told to stop me. But during the course of the ensuing discussion, it certainly became clear to me that they didn't realise why they'd been told to stop me. So I don't know what story they'd been given, but
what sort of questions did they ask you there? I mean, they must have had a line of questioning for you. Were you surprised what they were asking you?
Well, absolutely. I mean, obviously the obvious questions, where had I been, where was I going? And I was, pretty non-cooperative because I told them right from the get-go they certainly did not have any reasonable cause to stop me. And, of course, they advised me that under the Terrorism Act, they didn't need reasonable cause. They could stop me and detain me for up to 6 hours without having any cause whatsoever. So I did tell them, I said, guys, we are this far from being in a corporatist police state in the UK, and unfortunately, you guys, the special branch officers, are helping to facilitate that. And once we actually got talking about the issue of fracking and unconventional gas, I mean, their response was, well, we're all right down here in Devon and Cornwall, which, of course, is certainly not the case for the population in certain other areas of the country, particularly right across the north of England, where David Cameron and the Tory government have effectively unleashed environmental warfare on the population across the central belt of the north of England.
Right, well, you're accusing the government of the curtailment of freedom of speech, but is this actually the first incident of its kind where an activist such as yourself has actually been stopped for no reason at all, and even charged under the Terrorist Act?
I doubt it very much. I'm sure that there have been other cases, and I know that NetPol, which is a body that monitors, police behaviour and monitors the police when they overstep the mark, and I'm pretty sure that NetPol have other examples of people suffering even greater levels of harassment. But, I'm very much in the frame, I know that, and our other...
Right, so just finally then, you're in the frame, you're a marked man, as it were. Will this have any impact at all on your future campaigning against fracking?
It just make me even more determined, and my emphasis is to encourage people to do their own research and look for themselves. I never ask anyone to take anything I say at face value. Do your own research and come to your own determination, and I can absolutely assure everybody that there is not a single member of the anti-fracking community that would deserve the label of being a terrorist.
Or not engage in any violent acts at all in terms of demonstrating?
Absolutely not. The whole ethos of the anti-fracking community, which covers all spectrum, or the full spectrum of the community, and the absolute ethos is that this is about non-violent, peaceful protest.
Ian Crane, thank you very much indeed for joining us live here on RT UK.
Thank you, Bill.